Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. Upper left hand corner, we got Doodle starting as the blue Protoss. Bottom right hand corner, we got, actually, do I want a color swap? Oh, look at that. With a color swap, what did I say first? Okay, blue Protoss, upper left hand corner, Pandor, red Terran, bottom right hand corner. Apparently they chose the opposite, but we'll stick with this. This is going to be on Neo Dark Origin overall. And if you missed game one, go ahead and... Okay, a couple things. One, I'm still working on my audio. Experimenting with it. Keep in mind when you say something in YouTube land, it will take quite a bit of time for me to respond because these are queued up from way long ago. And look at this. So it'll take me a while to adjust. Hopefully the audio is okay. Very fast probe out of the base. Now the question is this for proxy gate? Which oftentimes, yep, goes right about here. So now the secondary question is there, I'm not sure if there's enough room right here for, actually I think there is room for 2 gate. But is it going to be 2 gate or 1 gate? I have a feeling this is going to be proxy 1 gate with the gas steel, which will be challenging for Pandor to defend. Pandor with the supply depot right alongside. And the other problem, I like players seeing the gateway into gas steel, because oftentimes what it encourages Terran to do, yeah, here we go. Oftentimes what it encourages Terran to do is to make a beeline for the Vespene Geyser to try to cap that. And the detriment here, okay, so we do have the barracks building at least, and we'll see if Doodle could still go for the gas deal to slow down the factory. But the trick is by overcommitting some minerals, okay, did go for the gas deal. By overcommitting minerals, sometimes you can put them in a position where they delayed the barracks. So Doodle a little bit late to threaten the gas deal where you would go for gas before barracks. Barracks is going up, but this will certainly delay the factory. Now, Pandor walks out, sees the proxy factory. Go ahead and drop that SCV on that pylon to create a bit of disruption. Now, the probe's not cycling back. SCV nearly killed on the front, does force an exchange, which provides extra seconds. Second barracks is being dropped to respond to this, rather than a bunker alongside the command center or anything along those lines. Probe's taken hefty damage, still got the SCV kill by the hunt down. And is it gonna, looks like it is going, nope, just waiting. Zealot working on that SCV. The SCV from took a little bit of damage, is going to wander off right this second. And Doodle not missing a beat, going to work on that second SCV. First Marine out, should make quick work of this probe. It's about 3-4 shots away from death. So 2 of those just landed. The probe moving out to try to get some health back. And the SCV's out of the way from the Zealot to provide support to the Marine. Now the Zealot got an SCV kill, but not able to stop that on the front. The Zealot starting to back up a little bit. Looks like the SCV was killed by the secondary Zealot as it was working on that pylon while Pandor was distracted. This Zealot retreating to the south, opening up the Zealot to enter from the north. And now it is 2 versus 3 as far as the Marine count. There is a 4th Marine, but it's kind of out of the fight right this second. If Pandor can micro these SCVs very, very well, he'll end up in an okay situation. But right now, these Marines have all grouped up, and you need them really spread out, going for that gap. 3rd Zealot now on location. Pandor has mitigated a good amount of Marine health loss, but he's, okay, now getting additional Marines produced. He has a lot of idle SCVs here in the space of this. A couple SCVs died as well in the space, and it looks like Doodle gonna exit. He didn't lose a Zealot. He's got 2 heavily damaged Zealot. He's just gonna back out. 5 Marines there. He's gone for a natural expansion behind this. So Doodle actually able to get some damage done. Really hasn't lost much. Is he gonna turn around? And Pandor actually running out to the natural expansion with 5 Marines, which is very, very brave. And wants to take down this forward gateway. Regardless, his natural expansion gonna end up a little bit, oh, nice, repairing the SCV. So defend now 6 Marines, 6 versus 4. And this was kind of my concern, is the Zealot spawns right on top of the Marines when you position them like that. So loses 3 Marines as a result. No more, it doesn't look like there's anything else queued up. But that delays the command center even further, which is going to give a massive jump start, and photon cannons morphing as well. Massive jump start to Doodle. Mostly in him getting his natural expansion up much more rapidly as far as the exit. And okay, yeah, he lost, so he lost 250 minerals here, but look how much later. Pandor's still waiting for that command center, and this base is already up, and you got 2 cannons in the way. and another gateway being built at the main. And this SCV is going to wander up and see the bad news. Factory getting constructed. Now the question for Pandor, so down 3 workers right this second. That's going to increase pretty rapidly as far as the gap over time, because you got 2 bases building instead of 1. Wanders up. That SCV's dies to cannons. What's the response? One thing on Neo Dark Origin is okay, is he going to drop a second factory and go for 2 or 3 factory sort of push? So second factory is queued up here. One thing on Neo Dark Origin, the Zealot's still remaining active, trying to keep eyes out on the front. One thing on Neo Dark Origin, though, is because you do have this nearby third, and because you do have that bridge line, it is a map where, despite whatever opening happens as Terran, what you can do is you can fold back and go to upgrade Terran and play a little bit more defensively. You just don't panic, don't overcommit, don't go for any aggression. Just sit back, get your siege tanks out, get your mines up, mine the bridges, cover your bridge line, and then just go from there. The Zealot getting hunted down. Pandor being very aggressive with his troops. Also, Doodle recognizing, dropping that pylon out towards what could be an attack point from the rear. Cybernetics core just being built, by the way. Doodle also going to be in the dark for quite a period of time, so he's not going to know what the adjustment is from Pandor. But right now you can see that worker gap. It was about a 10 worker gap because of how rapidly that Nexus went up in comparison. So good gambit here early from Doodle. Looks like it paid off. Double machine shop dropping. So I presume this is going to be for Vulture upgrades off the bat. Probe sneaking its way out. He just wants to see if I think he wants to just check that 3 o'clock to see if Pandor tried to sneak a quick third base, recognizing Doodle wasn't going to be in the best response situation. Third cannon, by the way, out on the front. Initial, right now, Doodle does not have, he's got a Zealot as an attack unit, by the way. Pylon dropping there at the 3 o'clock location just to see if there was a move out potentially. I'm wondering if we're going to see a quick robo in the space of this. +1 weapons upgrading. Are we going to see 2 base? Look at this. Taking notes from Jayun. Last Starcon going now 2 base straight into Stargate tech. So we got 2 Stargates winding up. Did Pandor, so he drops the comsats. He does see Cybernetics core spinning, but he might presume this is just a very, very late Dragoon range. And Doodle, okay, he's got to take note as these Dragoons are making their way up. This is going to be the big part is okay, look, they don't have range. They don't have range, Pandor. Notice that they're walking. That's going to be the big tell here. And sometimes that's really hard to note. Oh my goodness. And this could play, and again, this kind of plays into the Terran psychology for Doodle. He's got 3 siege tanks out on the front, 2 factories. He does have 2 Goliaths out, but this is more to deal with potential robotics facility incursions more than anything. I think he's just presuming that Doodle was going for a third, and we already got 2 carriers queued up. So basically, all of the initial action, and I love the long-term game plan here from Doodle. It's like, okay, let's force our Terran opponent into a situation where he feels the economic deficit, and as a result goes for more of the shell mentality, moves up, is continuing to harass that barracks. This actually is a little bit risky, I think, on Doodle's part, because it potentially does reveal the fact that that lack of Dragoon range, I think is still a case, unless I missed Dragoon range and I'm missing it here. I don't think I am, though. Barracks burns, by the way. It was there a second ago and vanished, but we got the second barracks up, so not that much of a hit. +1 weapons about halfway finished. Engineering base starting to float out. 3rd factory getting tacked on. But you can see Pandor, he's not going up to 4 or 5 factories here. He's just going for that long-term upgrade Terran style. Oh, never mind. He's going up to 4 factories. So never mind. So everything gone. Scratch all that. 5 factories now. So 5 factory, there's an opportunity. SCV getting caught here at the 3 o'clock location, by the way. 5 factory, there's an opportunity where if we just see a massive Vulture siege tank, and I don't know how Pandor will scout this, but there are timings for him to work with here. Some Dragoons making their way up. This is not a sufficient defense force. Pandor doesn't even need to siege in the midst of this. He can just go ahead and wander out. Did he? I think I presume he's got siege tech upgraded in the space of this, alongside the Vultures, but he's starting to make aggressive movements. My only concern for Pandor is that he's doing the standard Terran thing, which is to surge to 5 factories to get a larger troop can out to secure the 3rd rather than go for the attack. And also also the supply count a little bit deceptive here, because this is a 30 supply advantage for Doodle, but keep in mind a lot of that supply is in these hefty carriers, which are currently not out on the battlefield. So right this second, as far as what's on the ground, Pandor could make action, and he's doing that, the Terran thing these days of moving out and seeing how soft the defense force is. We do have a third base starting to go up here. Does Pandor commit? Looking to see if it command. Okay, it looks like he is going. He's dropping a 6 factory in the space of this, so I think is going to go for the aggression in the space of this. Doodle now trying to buy himself some time, wandering with that attack force out towards the 3 o'clock location, checking there. But now the carrier's coming up. They want to pick off those Goliaths first. If Pandor moves very, very rapidly, just queues up a bunch of Goliaths, there's still potentially an opportunity. Unfortunately, the siege tank stranded versus Zealots. This is not a good opening. Losing that initial siege tank for free. He needs to move more towards that third to force the carriers to chase and not get as much purchase. And it looks like now he's got 0 anti-air. And Doodle going for the counterattack underneath to cut off reinforcements. Oh, and now this is completely falling apart. So siege tank's dying for free. No Goliaths queued up, and that natural expansion actually going to get carved up. So Doodle, man, with some master strokes now, tearing this apart. Getting it, and just with a handful of Dragoons right there, an absolute hit squad. And now Pandor has 3 siege tanks, a few units in the space of this, but certainly not enough. Third base already up, probes now saturating that. Now that's a solid, massive tech lead, massive economic lead here for Doodle. 61 workers. He queued up a lot of workers to saturate that rapidly as well. Pandor does have something staged out towards that third. The 2 carriers making their way out. Are there 2 other carriers somewhere out in the map? I'm looking for them, not seeing them. And keep in mind, this is with +1 weapons already out there. Is +1 weapons finished? Okay, yeah, +1 weapons finished. Some vultures trying to make something happen by moving out in the field, but this is a desperate situation. Just not enough anti-air for Pandor right this second. And it's going to get worse. The carrier is now moving up. One of them is at least taking base damage over this missile turret, but this is going to be some group repair and further economic damage. The Goliaths getting picked off while they're still in small numbers. Counterattack with some vultures able to take out a cannon right there. While those carriers are out of position, we have some zealots waiting nearby. There are some mines in between. These zealots without leg speed, so economic damage both directions. But this honestly hurts Pandor a lot more than it hurts Doodle right this second. Doodle can suffer these losses and rebuild pretty rapidly, but Doodle still doesn't have... Okay, finally getting some Goliaths out. But the Sim City is such, or I should say the natural expansion is such, where the carriers can just walk out over that abyss edge, pick off a Goliath or 2 as they're hovering over this corner, and keep that count dangerously low. On top of this, Doodle expanding to the 9 o'clock location, recognizing that Pandor is very, very pinned back. So Pandor's best chance here is honestly drop the third in the midst of all this pressure. And yeah, try to get some more turrets up, try to get a decent Goliath force up, and maybe hold the bridge line and still play towards a higher upgrade place. Maybe, I don't know, get some Wraith out, something. Maybe the Goliaths, I kind of like Wraith as a counterattack over Goliaths in this situation, mostly because of how much interference there is across all of these ridge lines. But that would be a massive, massive investment. Oh, so Pandor is dropping that third base. This is a huge fleet of carriers. That is so scary. 30 supply lead, but it's not a normal 30 supply lead here. That's what I really want to emphasize. And this is what I was talking about here, where the Goliaths trying to make their way out, but because, okay, they got a carrier though, so bonus, but because of these bridge lines, it's very difficult for them to get purchase to be able to hit that carrier. Also, we got 2 mines left. Just going to see the workers making their way across. What are the upgrades is the other question. Only +1 weapons is finished here, but you got a +1 weapons and +2 weapons just about to finish. So Doodle is going to end up ahead as far as the weapons go. I'm not sure how shield actually, honestly, I'm not sure how. I know that you want to, with +1, you want to try to even things up to keep once the interceptors have that +1 armor, it can be a pain. I'm wondering actually how the shield upgrade plays into this for the interceptors. If someone knows out in the field, let me know. That's kind of an interesting upgrade Doodle going for. It does end up affecting a larger portion of his army. And I'm curious what it does to the actual interceptor lines. Now Pandor has a massive amount of Goliaths. He's I like this play, shoving to the middle of the map to try to force the carriers to him. But he's got a lot of targets to engage. He's got to take out that 9 o'clock. He's got to take out that third, and he needs to defend his own third. So Doodle cycling down there, and this could be a very quick extinction of this command center. It looks like, yeah, just group swarm. SCV's not there to group repair. And as a result, gone. And that was, I think that's it. I'm not sure that Pandor can recover at this stage. In 2 minutes, his main is going to be mined out. It's going to be a while to get that third back up. He does have a lot of Goliaths out here, but Doodle doing a great job of finding the small pockets of them and picking them off one at a time. The siege tank count is existence, but again, not ultra threatening. In the meantime, there's we got some cannons, we got some other stuff, we got other supply to threaten. At least this is okay. Another command center's gotten dropped. The Dragoons can go ahead and walk in there, wipe that out. Doodle can afford to lose this fourth base, and he'll be in a good situation. The Zealots actually streaming that direction. The Zealots actually, with the carrier support, might be sufficient to just wipe all of this out as well. The Goliaths, looks like a lot of them got picked off, and these 4 Dragoons just going to walk in. Oh, this is falling apart. And it looks like that command center is not even going to get wiped out. Doodle with some good play. Pandor, oh man, that was rough. Doodle, just a vicious, vicious killer in this game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Pandor, unfortunately, going to the lower bracket. Doodle proceeds in the upper bracket. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.